What is up, guys? Chaz
And Trista.
with the Side Hustle Pros, episode number 1 of our weekly live show moving forward. Every single week, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time is when we'll be going live, whether it be bringing on guest speakers, bringing our own topic of the week, doing live Q&A sessions with you guys. We're going to be doing that on Thursdays moving forward. Right now, if you're watching live, is obviously Wednesday. We got a big camping trip coming up, so we're pushing this back to Wednesday. So we're going to give people a minute to hop on the live version here. I want to introduce our guest. Our guest today is a dude that's responsible for getting me addicted to shoes lately. I've been blowing his phone up every day like, hey, I just found So I want to bring on Ken with the HustleBee. If you're on Instagram at all, you definitely know this guy by now. So Ken, if you want to just do a quick intro for yourself, the floor is all yours, my friend.
Alrighty, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, guys. Just really excited to be here and to be able and share some of my story and journey in my eBay. But a little background of myself. Me and my wife moved here to the U.S. 3 years ago after we decided to get married. We got married, and we were just like, let's just take on an adventure. And we decided, let's move to the States and let's try to see if we can make it there. I've always heard that U.S. is the rich country, the country of opportunity. Everybody wants to work here, everybody wants to move here. I've been here a couple of times. U.S. has always been a vacation destination for our family, the world and stuff like that. But this time it wasn't a vacation. We moved here, stayed with my dad's friend, and after that, got our own apartment. My wife worked, I worked, and ever since I was 16 years old, I was always an entrepreneur. And it was my first job ever in my life. I was 25 at that time and never had a job. And then all I knew was just do your best, right? And I did my best. Got promoted, became a top producer role, and all of a sudden I hit the glass ceiling. That ceiling that they really didn't want me to go up anymore. Everybody became threatened by how fast I was moving up. And then by then I just realized that I really didn't have any, what do you call that, I really didn't have any drive anymore, because all the goals that I set that were allowed for me to do was already attained. So that's when me and wife went to a vacation with a couple of our friends, and love the atmosphere of waking up whenever I want to. I missed that. For one full year, I had to wake up, at a certain time, be there, work a certain hour, and I was just like, man, this is the life that I had and I missed. As soon as I came back from vacation, I think we came back we came back on Saturday. Monday came, I told my my project manager that I'm quitting. And it was just that it. I mean, it wasn't even no 2-week notice. And after that, I hustled and been following Gary Vaynerchuk for a long time. And 2017 Flip Challenge happened, and followed that. Followed hashtag. Met Glenn, the Hustler Hacks, and DM'd him. Actually, I emailed him if he could Skype. He Skyped with me. He helped me a little bit from the start. Pretty much what happened with us, Chaz, it was just like you asking me some questions and stuff. And after that, I just took off. And here we are, 5 months already.
Wow, that's a great story, Ken.
Yeah, it blows my mind. So when I first started following Ken on Instagram, I was just kind of ghost following. I wasn't liking or commenting any of his stuff, just kind of checking him out like we all do on Instagram. And I've seen this dude kill it. How much was your that 60-day spread that you did? How many did you do in sales?
So recently we just hit 27,000 in my 60-day.
27,000. It's just as that's part that blew my mind. Following him, and I heard these numbers. Dang, this guy has been doing this for so long. And then I started talking with him and realized, holy crap, he's only been doing this in February this year. Like, that is straight up hustle. That's why I want to get him on the show to just introduce you guys to what he's been teaching me. I've been messaging him in the DM in the background every day. Because I'm in Ross holding a pair of shoes, and I'm like, I need to talk to Ken. And he's been amazing because he's actually been one of those guys that just wants to give back, and that's why we connected so well. I think we're getting feedback. Are you getting feedback?
Better?
Yeah, probably just hit.
Okay.
Check 1 2 1 2. Still a little feedback as well. If anyone's watching live, we got some viewers. Can you guys drop a comment? Let me know if the audio is okay back and forth. This is my first time using Google Hangouts on the live stream, so give me a minute for technical difficulties. Check.
I think we're good.
All right, we're good. Yeah, so you can just open up with somebody is brand spanking new, just where you were 5 months ago. You know there's much shoes on eBay, but you have no idea what to do, how to check out, where to find inventory. So if you can just start with bare bones basics. If I say, Ken, I just found your Instagram channel, I really want to get into shoes, where do I start? What would be your top couple things that you give somebody who's brand new?
Really, so just a little backstory. You know, as I said, we've been back and forth in the U.S. and in the Philippines. We don't have any Nike outlets. So every time I see a Nike outlet, I always tell my dad, like, Dad, let's stop. I've always loved Nike. I guess my parents. What happened is when I was in school, my parents would always set a goal for me. So first, it was always grades for me. If I get straight A's every quarter in school, they would buy me a Nike shoe. So it became Nike was just something that I always worked hard for, and then really wanted Nike. The outlets just bought. Like it was just amazed me. Like there was just so many pairs of shoes. I've never been to a place that had so many pairs of shoes. So that's what I guess the first place I would go to, definitely, because we already know that it's already on sale. You can see the box price. A lot of times, box price is at $130. You can get it there for $50, $40, $30. So one of the things there is, the beauty of Nike Outlet is, it's so big and you can just hang out there and just learn. So, really learning in the store, and the beauty about it is, worst comes to worst, because I always think about a worst case scenario. Everybody, you got to have a backup plan. But I don't talk a lot about it because I just know it in my heart that worst case scenario, you can return it and get your money back. I've never heard of that policy before. In the Philippines, it's so hard to return stuff. Once you buy it, you're stuck with it. So as soon as I heard about that, no question guarantee in your returns and stuff like that, as long as it's still the same product. So that's what I did after that Skype call with me and Glenn. I was actually sitting at the outlet parking lot talking to Glenn, and he was just like, just do this, do that, and and then we can expand it, a little bit later on how to look up product codes and stuff like that. But a lot of it was just learning, by experience, and I think that's the best teacher, really, because in a way, I was so new to Instagram. In the reselling community, I just didn't know anybody yet.
That's awesome.
And I like that you mentioned also, Ken, that you put in some time and to learn what your craft would be. A lot of people think that they're just going to walk into Walmart or Target or Nike or whatever, wherever your niche is, and just find the first great flip in the first 10 minutes, and it just doesn't happen that way. So you have to put in some work. You have to understand what your niche is, and you can't just buy anything that might look like a good deal. You have to understand what you're doing.
Yeah, put in really that for me. It's just looking up on Google and looking up completed listings. That's all I did. I was really into shoes. I was a big shoe collector, but it was Jordans. It was retros. Yeah. It was, it was not something that you can find easily. So I pretty much had to relearn everything, because when I'm collecting, it's all about the story, right? It's all about, Michael Jordan wore this in Game 5. Michael Jordan wore this when he was sick. The flu game. So it was all about story based. So it was a piece of history. But with this one, it was all business. And then I didn't realize that maybe I had an eye for a shoe, but at the end of the day, I still have to do the research.
Yeah.
Again, I could have made the mistake and judged it based on my my experience in a way that, oh, this is a nice color, black and red. But at the end of the day, if comps weren't good, I'm not making money. I'm not going to be running a business.
Right, and you're not buying the shoe, your customers are, and it
Right.
always blows my mind what our customers are interested in. It's not necessarily something that I would choose for myself, but
Right.
that's what's selling. So you have to follow the data for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. So let's say I have the eBay app, because I'm looking at where I was a month ago. I was completely on the eBay side. I've sold, those of us who follow us for a while, we used to do a lot of Nike outlets on Amazon. Obviously, Nike and Amazon partnered up. I'm out of the Amazon ballgame as far as shoes go, with Nike specifically. So Nike was super easy. I would just take it, scan the barcode, and most of the time it would just pop up, and I'd say yes or no. eBay, there's a little more legwork that goes into it, and I think this is why you and I decided we're calling this the golden opportunity, because it does take a little more research, and it does take that certain type of intuition. You have to know shoes, and you have to be willing to learn more about the different trends that come up. We were just talking about a pair I scored this morning. I have no idea where they're at. Oh, they're over there. So I scored a pair this morning, Metcon Jordans, the band version.
The band, yep, the black and red. I saw that.
I scored a pair for $20. And they were worn once, pristine condition, and these things are flipping for between like 80 all the way up to like 150. But I knew the second I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace where I found these, I knew the second I saw that color scheme, it was the varsity red and black. Yeah. Because I've been doing my research the last month and learning from guys like the Hustler Hack, Glenn and Ken here. Because I've been putting in the research, I knew the second I saw that red and black what they're worth, and the fact they were asking $20, it was gold.
And it shocked me too. As soon as he said these are varsity red and black, and he gave me all the stats, I was shocked. I didn't know that he knew that much about shoes, and he's just been learning a lot the last month.
Yeah.
So, really
cool. Then that goes with any ball game, guys. Doesn't matter if you're flipping shoes, books, electronics, whatever. Like, you have to learn your niche. You can't just blindly start scanning stuff. You have to be willing to put in that legwork. Which is why your story is so powerful, because you literally went from Philippines, and you and I have talked many times behind the scenes by now. Like, Ken's story is freaking phenomenal, guys. If you ever have a one-on-one chat with him, highly recommend it. You went from, we were talking about the average wage that saw people earning, right? It's like between $4, $5, $6, maybe $10 if you're really good. Yeah. And they're all corporate style jobs, right?
Yeah, that's per day. That's not per hour.
That's mind-blowing. It's like you came from that, and you just put in the work in 5 months, and you've done more than most people do in a whole year. Because most of us Americans, like, we're guilty of it ourselves. Yeah. Like, we grow up spoon-fed sometimes, and we get so complacent with the things that we do have access to that we don't realize the privilege that we do have. And that's why when I got to talk to you, it was awesome to be able to connect with you and see kind of your perspective on things.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it, a lot of this learning are available online. You got, everybody's on YouTube, and you have all the resources, right? All you need is this phone. All you need is the phone, Google, and an eBay app, and you got it figured out, right? You can see how much your markup is. You can see how much your fees, right? You have eBay calculator app. Everything's there, and it's just all around you. And I didn't even see this right off the bat when I came here, because I was just shopping for myself, shopping for my wife. When we started making money, I was making like $13 an hour. So like, man, that's just like, it's crazy, right? From making, if I worked in the Philippines, I would have made my hour. I would have made my day in an hour here, right? So, that's just amazing. And then all of a sudden it hit me. It's like, man, I have all these resources. I really don't have like an excuse why I couldn't succeed. So that's, and it was slowly building up while I was working in my previous job. That's why I found Uber, right? When I was driving Uber, I was making $300 a weekend. I was like, man, this is like really, good job, and I can work whenever I want to. So that actually helped me, transition about just going to the technology that we have now. You know, with Uber, all you need is a car and an app, which everybody pretty much have. In just going to the shoe game, and then I love shopping. My wife loves shopping. I love shoes, and and it's just amazing that we're actually doing and making money out of something that we love, that we don't consider as a job.
And that just reminded me, I love your stories mode you did. I think it was this morning or yesterday morning where you rolled out of bed, said, I get to do this every day. Wake up. That's what we talk about.
There's days that you don't feel like it, right? And then like even today, we actually went out sourcing with my wife. She went with me today. And then like in the middle of the day, it was so hot here, and we weren't finding anything really. So there's some dry days, and there are some days that I would push through it, but today it was just like, let's just go home and take a nap. So actually I just got off a nap, took a shower, and got up here.
You're like, oh yeah, that's right. YouTube thing I gotta
terrible. Do. So I wanted to ask you, are you just on eBay, or are you working on other streams or marketplaces? What I meant to say, like Mercari or Facebook Marketplace, or are you just eBay?
So right now I'm solely eBay. I'm having plans about setting up a Shopify store, reducing the fees from eBay. But for me, it's just that eBay just brings so much traffic. So what we're planning to do is we want to hit 1,000 items. It may be shoes, jerseys, everything else. Hit 1,000 items. That will actually net me $50 per item, and as far as calculation is concerned, it would be 100,000 worth of inventory. So yeah, we're at 80,000 right now, so only a couple more shoes.
Nice. Only a few more. And what is your? I'm just curious. What is your ROI that you look for when you're looking for a flip?
Yeah. So when I started, it was just basically doubling my money. I only started with $500, and maybe like 20 to 30 items from our home. A lot of it was just my corporate, stuff that I didn't use anymore, like dress shoes and long sleeves that I didn't wear anymore. So I was just selling that. So my first rule was just doubling the money, and as long as I could double the money, I'm in. So my rule of thumb when I was starting, it was just buy for 20, sell for 60, net 20. So that's doubling my money. Yeah. And then so that was actually in a sort of way actually helped me strategize eBay. So it was just every time I make a sale every day. So I wake up, it's like, oh, I have another $100. I would go directly to the Nike outlet, because I would find $20, $30 shoes that I could flip. So it was just that, trying to get the capital rolling. And then I actually stumbled upon shoes that would actually net me more profit. So I was like, whoa, because it was just researching, all about researching. And next thing I know, it's like, if I stick with the $20 profit and I want to make this X amount of money, I'm going to have so many shoes. It won't fit in my 2-bedroom apartment. We're working, on a 2-bedroom apartment. So I was like, I need to recalibrate my sourcing technique. So it's a little bit harder. It will take time, but for the last 2 months, we've been strictly sourcing, buying for 30, selling for 100, and netting 50.
Nice.
And here's another thing that blew my mind when I asked you the other day. Tell these guys how many. So you're working on a 2-bedroom apartment, no garage, no warehouse. How many pairs of shoes are in that bedroom right now?
We have 750 right now.
Wow.
I've got like 50 inside of a couple bins I was proud of, and then I asked this guy how many he has, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I love it though. I mean, I love the hustle with the shoe game. It's awesome. If you guys have any questions, by the way, we're both pretty much open books with everything we do. So if you guys have any questions, drop those in the chat and we'll get to a Q&A session. I want to run through, so I have my eBay app open. What are a few stores that you recommend a newbie goes into, and what's your process? You go in, you see a huge wall of shoes. Where do you start? What's the process of your research down to the buying decision, yes or no?
So I usually go directly. I would highly suggest Nike Outlet, like I said, because it's just a really good learning ground. Rather than I source with Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat Factory, pretty much any discount retailer that has shoes. I would stop in there. But the things that you will run into Ross is they actually have fewer shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much options. So I would highly suggest the outlets because you know that there's gonna be over 100 at least, right? 500 shoes out there, and I would always go directly to the clearance because at the end of the day, we're trying to make the most profit that we want in a certain item. So first is I want to get the cost as low as I can. So as soon as I do that, so that's my process. So I'm gonna show you a couple of things. I have a couple of shoes put up here. So one example is this shoe that I found at the back wall, right? These are shoes that have their lids cut off. So my first process is once I see a shoe, right? It's got hot pink, black, white. So I go for just what daily wear, right? Daily wear, not sometimes I want bright. I always go for what's bright, what's attractive, right? Because it catches the eye, and people want to buy it for a good deal on eBay. So my process is as soon as I find one, so I go to the tag. So let me see, it's probably the glare, but right.
Blow people's minds if you don't know this.
So let me see, right above the made in China or whatever it is made, there's a 9-digit product code. So you guys can see that in any Nike tag. So sometimes it will be on shirts, sometimes it will be on, it's the product code or the style code. So it's a 6 consecutive number dash 3 numbers. So first it's the style code and the color code. If you guys want to dig deeper on it, just type Nike product code on Google. It will pop out. It will show you what exactly it looks like. So I looked that up, and then I look at the cost, right? This actually I got for $14. This was $14.
Nice.
The Nike Outlet, and then I looked at the. Let's do it. Do you have your Nike your eBay app right there?
Yeah.
Right. So let's look it up.
We'll do this live. Live sourcing. Ooh, that could be a new series. Live sourcing.
Right. 705.
All right, so we got Nike 705.
486. 002.
02. So tip number 1, you're going to see all the current listings pop up, guys. You want to go to filter and sold. We don't care what sellers are pricing their stuff at. We care what customers are willing to pay. Because a lot of times you're going to see sellers say, I want $100 for the shoes. But if you're sold, you're going to see customers are only willing to pay $60. So go down to your sold. How much did you pay for those? 14?
Yeah.
Nice. So if you guys can see right off the bat, those are your prices these are actually going for right now.
Right. And then I actually didn't buy it for $14.
Dang.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Everybody's in here, like Chaz said, we're an open book and everything like that. Let me find a Nike receipt.
Oh, each is a good one.
All right, hold on. Let me find
Here's a trick to get your buy cost down. So I already know where this guy's going. He did not pay $14 for that shoe. He paid $4, and he's going to show you how he did it. If not for free, if you stack it. So if you guys don't know, on the bottom of your receipts, check out what Ken's going to show you.
So at the bottom of your receipt, there's this survey right here, survey code. Let me see, right here. there's this survey code right here. You will actually get $10 off of your next purchase.
You paid $4 for those?
Yeah, I mean $6 after taxes.
What we'll do, I don't know if you do this with your wife, Ken, but we'll actually go through the line a couple of times with different products just so that we can get those receipts for the $10 code.
Oh, Ken's playing that game.
Yeah, so exactly. The only reason, I mean, you know, like turning $6 to $45, this is how we price it, right? That's just good, right? Or $39.99. That's just money right there. And this is so light to ship. So that's why I consider this. This is more than doubling your money. You probably would make $20 off of this, you know, with how I got this so cheap. So it just in that, you know, that process, you're already winning. You're getting $10 off of this. You're making money, and then you're getting another receipt. They'll have $10 off of your next purchase. Yep. So, you know, and pretty much that's the concept. There's, you know, the genius thing is not there. You know, like there's no genius in doing this. It's just doing it so many times over and over again and getting better at, you know, looking for the shoe and getting more efficient. So that's just, you know, the basic process that I do.
Perfect. And you guys, I don't know if people understand that there is the difference between a Nike outlet and they actually have, in our area, we have a clearance store as well. The whole store is just clearance. So anything that the Nike outlet can't sell at the price that they want, they send it up to the clearance store and it gets marked down again.
Right. So sad to say, I don't have any clearance store around my area.
You just got to come out to Oregon.
You have to come see us.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know, so that's just it. And you know, I just go at least once a week. And even until now, I study categories. I mean, there's so many shoes, right? So I buy soccer cleats, track cleats, and then, you know, and then I just recently went into running shoes. Crazy enough, I haven't sold a lot of running shoes, but I have some stuff that I have here for you that I got. So this one, let me see. This have boxes. So obviously, this was not from the back wall. This is actually from the center aisle. I just realized that every now and then they will actually put extra 30% off of there. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that because I was always about, you know, the cost down and then, you know, cheap products, and I was always looking at the clearance. So I guess it was part of the, you know, the school sale or 4th of July sale that they had. And they just didn't want to, you know, they want to get rid of it. Maybe they only did it because we didn't have any clearance store around our area. You know, they probably want to liquidate it there. So I got this shoe. So it's called Air Max Modern Flyknit, and it retails for $130. It's complete with box, and I actually got this for $29.99, extra 30% off.
Nice.
Yeah, so I pretty much bought everything that they had left there. And and the lady was nice enough that we actually paid separate transaction for every 3 pairs.
Oh man!
Wow.
And I was able to use $10 off every 3 transactions. So I was paying. So this boiled down to $30. I mean $20 a piece. So it would be $60 for 3, and then $10 off. So it was $50 plus tax for 3.
That is just nuts.
Right.
And for those that don't know, if you find one style of shoe just like that one that sells really well and you want to buy up the whole shelf, does Nike have that limit that you can buy per SKU?
So it's actually 10 per product. I mean 10 per style code. So me, you know, like that's why a lot of times I just go a couple of times and then I just go to different outlets.
Yeah. Or I've done this before where I found one, I bought 10 pair in the morning and I just went back in the evening, wait for a different employee to check.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, if you're going on when there's a lot of people in the line, they really don't, you know, they won't notice you.
Yeah. Just
hop to a different cash register or hop to the person that has the mobile checkout, you know, and they wouldn't know. So it's, you know, that's the basic of my business. And just really looking for for me, any outlet store, you can find at least 10 pairs that would make you $20 each item. That for me, that's basic. You can do that. So I'm just pushing myself to see if I can get 50. And so far, I've been getting fewer of them, but 50 is actually, you know, bigger profit, right? So I need to get 5 pairs to make 100. I only need to get 2 pairs to make 100. So, you know, it's just learning that, and then I only just found out that there are ugly looking shoe that would net me $50 an item.
That's what, if I've learned anything lately from doing so much sourcing just solely on eBay shoes, it's people are paying money for crazy colors and ugly stuff. You tell them about the cat shoes you just sold.
Oh yeah, I just sold these terrible. Somebody loves them out in the world. Somebody loves these. They're literally cat faces of real life cats all over these pair of canvas bands. I bought them at a garage sale for $5. The lady had never worn them, and they sold for $45. The day after.
Yeah,
it was really fast.
Because I saw them, I would have passed on it. Like, no one's gonna buy cat shoes.
They're
and she's like, no, you gotta check it. And of course, I had to eat my own words on that one.
Right.
She checked the thing, and sure enough, they sold like that. I'm like, so ever since then, I'm buying these like funky, bright colors, like you said, and especially once you get into niche stuff. We just sold a pair this morning I told Ken about, and I'll pull this up just so I can show you guys. So I paid $17.99 for these shoes. They've been listed for, I think, how many days? 4 days?
Mm-hmm.
And they just sold for $80, $79.99. But they're super bright. I didn't know this. I should have priced them higher, but I told Ken about it. He's like, you know, those are from the Rio Olympics colors, right? So again, I'm learning. So I should have priced them higher, but they sold for $80 fairly quick. I paid $18 for them. After fees and shipping, I did the math. I made about a $40 profit.
Right. Yeah. So like, here's one tip too. A lot of times you automatically just look up the barcode on eBay app, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you actually see are actually titles from what sellers named them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you looked it up on Google, you will see what Nike named them.
Yeah.
Then that's when you realize that was from the Rio Olympic colorway. So then you'll see a lot more story in, you know, when you Google it, and then, you know, then images starts to pop up that this guy from Team USA wore it and stuff like that. Then, you know, so that's just another extra step that could have made you maybe $20 more, right?
Especially when you know it's from the Rio Olympics color code, you can start using those keywords like Rio Olympics in your
exactly. And that's when it starts popping out, and then, you know, you rank better. And there's just people that, you know, Olympic athletes, you know, and, you know, or aspiring Olympic athletes that are training for Olympics. They, you know, they just want to look for that certain colorway, and then that's how you find them.
Mm-hmm. So when you are actually going to list your shoe, are you just searching the sold items and then copying someone else's listing? Or are you creating your own listing from scratch and adding your own keywords in? How are you doing the listing portion?
So really, I haven't really dug in deeper to the SEO. You know, everybody's, you know, like I've been hearing a lot of, you know, rankings and everything like that. But for me, the main thing really is I just think like a buyer, right? I think like a buyer, and then I just go for brand first. You know, if I'm looking for a shoe, I go brand, style, and then size. So I would go like for this one, right? Nike Roshi hot pink or pink, right? I would just put that up on the first title, and then of course I'll just compare it to other listings that has sold. So we just build pretty much, and it's basic, right? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna see the product code, and you're gonna see what Nike actually named them. So that's one of the main reasons why I still Google the product code, because you will see what Nike will name them. And then, you know, if people are actually looking it up on Google, then your eBay link will actually pop out there, not just on the eBay store.
Nice. So then you guys get into SEO, which is search engine optimization, getting you guys searchable on Google.
Yes.
With that, are you personally entering the style code into your titles, or do you just not mess with that?
So when we started, we actually start using the style code, but I realized that wait a minute, only resellers are using this. So what happened is they could. I'm not really giving a benefit for people. So what happens is I'm just typing it up on the description because it's still searchable. So what I usually fill up my title will be Nike Roshi Run pink size 5Y. I put it there, size 5Y, black, white. So anything that for example, like somebody's looking for a black shoe, Roshi black, I will pop up there and be like, oh, and then like some people just don't consider looking for a pink shoe, right? Because it's gonna be all pink, right? But when they look for a black shoe, it's like, oh, I like the touch of pink there, and then you're gonna pop up there.
Okay.
So color combination, maybe for uniform or maybe for a costume or something like that. Then you're gonna be school colors, navy white, then you're gonna pop up there, and you're gonna have more chances or better chances in getting that sale.
Nice. We got a couple good questions coming in. Are you shipping through eBay's ship for you service, or are you directly shipping to the customers?
Now I'm using the eBay platform. I just click print label, because of their discount, and it's just easier for upload stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just ship priority, and most of my, I think not anything over a pound, I ship priority mail. And anything under, like for example, this one, I'll just wrap it with bubble wrap, with like, I just wrap everything with bubble wrap, and this one will be still under a pound, and then I put it on a what do you call that? eBay's. I get it from eBay, the poly bag, 12 by 15, and this will fit there, and I just ship it first class.
Nice.
And then everything else will be by weight on priority mail.
Nice. And if you guys don't know that, so you're using just a standard medium priority box through USPS. Ken has an awesome video that shows you how to actually make that slightly bigger so you can fit the high top shoes in there. So go check out his Instagram channel, which is at the HustleBee, and you'll see him pop up. He's got a badass looking little logo there. Yeah, so that video, we were just messing around with that earlier today because we sold a pair of high tops, so it's definitely come in handy. So getting into so we've covered titles, photos. I'm assuming you're just taking your own photos, just with the typical white background, all the typical stuff that we
all white background, nothing really. I mean, what I use is just IKEA lamps that I got in my house. Just put a daylight 5500K. Like I said, this is all Google information. Just screw it up there, and we take it. My wife takes the photo with her iPhone 6, and that's it. So one thing is we just take as much photos as we can. So we pretty much fill up the 12 photos. From what I've heard, it actually ranks better. It's not tested, but it just gives the buyer more, the comfortability level that it's the actual shoe, and they just, for people that don't know exactly the size of the shoe or something, they can go around and see the shoes on the photos.
Nice.
And what selling styles are you using, Ken? Are you buy it now, or do you auction? And if you are buy it now, do you offer a best offer?
Yeah, so all my shoe is buy it now. I don't do auctions yet. So, I'm a firm believer of I want to get the sale. I don't want to lose the sale for $5. And, I will always come down at least 10% of my asking price. So if I'm asking for 100, we go back and forth with the offer. I just kind of like that atmosphere of, I can directly communicate with the buyer. And, like, if I'm really stretched, I always say, like, let's just, if I want it sold, let's meet halfway. I'll ship it now. I do that in the messages, and a lot of times it works. So I like best offer, buy it now, and I do free shipping. So throughout time, it's just more, with Amazon coming up, Amazon and eBay are the biggest e-commerce platform. Amazon has Prime, right? And so what I do with eBay, I just do free shipping, and I just pretty much average my shipping out from in my first 2 months, and it based on my location, it actually averages to $10. So I just add $10 to my price, and that's how I do free shipping. And then of course you're gonna get the fast and free shipping logo. That's just more attractive to buyers.
The buyers, perfect. Yeah. Somebody asked about scanning or having poor reception when they're in the store scanning. And I don't know about you, Ken, but we have pretty spotty signals in some of our, especially coast stores. We'll go to the coast and source there sometimes. And we've been known to take a stack of boxes next to the window, and so you basically like
they've thought
we look like crazy people, but it does work. You just kind of find the best place to and make it work. So
so the funny thing about me and my wife is we try to be smooth with everything, because here's the thing, right? Let's just put it out there. We're in Ohio, and it's all white people, so we already attract eyes.
Here's Ken getting rid of. Like run for it.
So what we do is we actually have an outlet that I like to shop that has the worst reception ever. I guess it's like they have signal blockers in the store. I really think
them do, yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is me and my wife just take photo of the barcode, and we just walk out and then search it outside.
I love it.
Win, right? Nobody suspects us from stealing.
Pictures and you run out.
Yeah, take photos, and then and if I'm scanning, what my wife usually does is, if over time you'll develop an eye for something nice. So my wife just goes back and forth while I'm looking at stuff, because there are stuff that you can rebuy already that that will sell good. So that's my job. I'll look for the possible rebuys of style. And then my wife goes in and out to the store and looks them up outside.
I love it. Whatever gets the job done. And
yes, exactly.
I think if you can get a partner in there to help you, definitely. I could totally get a coffee and just wait for Charles to text me pictures of shoes.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times that turns people off. Like, I don't want to source there. They don't have signal. It's like, there's nothing you can do. I always say you can only control what's controllable.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can't bring a pocket Wi-Fi with you or bring a long antenna with you. Whatever you have to do, right? I mean, whatever works, right? And like you drag it right by the window.
Yeah.
I don't, and I just walk in and out. And for me, it has worked. So really, it's all about doing it. And just. I mean, I don't even say it, but I don't complain at anything.
Yeah. If there's one word, just show what perseverance. Like you've got to just see a circumstance where, such as I don't have signal in the store. Like our Ross, like I'm seriously addicted to Ross thanks to this guy. I'm addicted to Ross right now for shoes. Our Ross that's 5 minutes away from my house, they have to have a blocker on. There is zero reception inside of that store. Right. So here's a tip. I found reception in the store. What you do, go in there. I load up my cart full of the ones I want to check. And I found one specific spot by one specific rack in the middle of the store that here's my tip. Hit airplane mode. Let it sit for like 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, actually refreshes it.
And then take airplane mode off and it refreshes your signal. So sometimes you catch a signal. So I will signal in this one spot and I cannot move from it. So that's another option. Or go by the window, but be prepared. I did this a couple days ago at Ross. Ross specifically, they have security guards in there. If you guys didn't know that by now, they have security guys in now. So I take a cart full of shoes. You can imagine the look on this guy. Take a cart full of shoes. I go right next to the doors. And I'm sitting there checking stuff with my phone. I see this guy. I don't like this white dude. I don't like him all. I opened up and made small talk with him just to like let him know, hey, I'm not running.
Yeah, definitely.
And here's the thing: like, if that really does make you uncomfortable, take the pictures and then leave and come back, or whatever works for you. But really, the worst thing that's gonna happen is that they're gonna ask you not to do that or make you leave the store, and it might be like embarrassing for a second.
Yeah,
but
there's more.
There's other stores.
Exactly. And, like that's the thing. The worst thing they can do is, sorry, sir, you can't do that, right? Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
That's just it. And for me, it's just, and for me, I mean, it's a funny experience. I don't get intimidated by it, but that so in any way, as long as you can make it work, make it work. And here's the thing: nobody's stopping you from doing that. Nobody's stopping you.
Yeah. Here's a tip: if you guys find the stores that don't have reception, chances are every other reseller said, "Screw it, this is too hard."
Yes.
You have a whole store to yourself, no competition. So find a way around. If you need to pay for a hotspot, little mobile Wi-Fi, and bring it with you, do it.
Right. So yeah, that's exactly why I like the rainy weather. Everybody don't go out shopping. I'm just there by myself.
Yeah.
Weather makes a difference. We just recently had a few really hot days, like 105.
Yeah.
And there was nobody out, so I went out on those days.
Yeah. We did really well last weekend.
Garage sales, we did really well. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to be out there. We scored
right. Like what? I mean, there's nothing. What's the worst thing that can happen? You'll break a sweat.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's too hard. I can't do.
Yeah, like, or bring a fan that has those like spray bottle that you can use, and bring a bunch of water.
Yeah.
And like that for me. That's just just a lame excuse. That for me, I'm just saying, like, okay, you don't want it that bad. Good for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. A couple last questions. One is, do you sell used shoes? Are you in Goodwills, thrift stores? Do you sell used stuff, or are you just focusing on new?
No, I'm just focusing on new. The reason because, the whole process of return of use and everything like that. But if I get a used shoe that has a really good margin, I'm always down for it. I've actually bought some shoes on eBay that were used and resold them on eBay for a higher profit. So, and one thing that I just want to give out context to everybody, I don't have my closest Ross is 2 hours away.
Well, yeah,
yeah, so I have to drive there. I have to wake up extra early to drive there and to get there at opening. And that's just, for me, that's where I'm at right now. And I just make it work. So since I drive so much, a lot of it is just driving time. I really haven't had the chance to explore thrift stores because I'd rather just go to a Ross in a city and just stay there for 8 hours and just source in a Ross, Marshalls, and Burlington Coat Factory and Nike outlet. That's all I do right now. So it's just pretty much repeating it over and over again.
Awesome. Do you find that certain days of the week, Ross or Marshalls have they restock the shelves? Do you go every single day? Do you have a rotation of stores?
Yeah. So what I do is I actually, so I just talk to every time I get an employee I see them restocking and stuff like that. I just make small talks and say like, I'm looking for the certain shoe. I've seen it before here, but you guys don't have it. How often do you guys restock? So as far as Ross and Burlington Coat Factory, for my personal experience, they actually get a shipment every day, but each store is different. Some stores hold the shoes for 2 days before they put it out because they have to process it. Some stores put it out early in the morning. Some stores put it out late at night. So it's very different for each store. So I guess it's the manager's discretion on how he wants to run his store. So that's it. Just asking them. Because every store is different. Even if they're in the same city, it's always different.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Great.
Questions?
I don't think I have anything
I think
else.
we picked your entire brain on shoes.
Yeah.
That's it, really, guys. Now it's just being patient. One thing that I wanna maybe about pricing with shoes, right? I'm just patient with my shoes. If you want to enter in the shoe game, of course it's not just me doing it. There's probably thousands more people doing it, and it gets competitive, right? Pricing gets dropped, pricing gets lowered. Low ballers undercut you and stuff like that. For me, I'm here for the long run. I'm here for the long haul, and I'm just patient with the price. If I'm willing to sit on a shoe to get that margin that I'm looking for 3 months.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And I think that's important to kind of recognize early on. If you're, I'm noticing a few people in the comment thread saying that they're kind of new to online reselling, and one thing that we didn't really think about it at the beginning was the fast nickel or the slow dime. And it sounds like you're okay with that slow dime. And our business model is a little bit of both, actually. A lot of higher priced items we want to be quick sellers, so we're okay making a 20 to 30, maybe a 40% ROI, but things that are cheap, we are okay to sit on. So it just depends on what your model is, what you need your income to be every month, and I would like to say that it's going to be so easy, you'll figure it out right away, but actually it's usually a little bit of
What do you mean it's not easy?
Yeah.
Just wanted to add that bit in there because
it's super important.
It's important to know the difference and have a healthy mix of both types.
Right.
So.
And that's just it, really. Like reverse engineering on what you need. Me and my wife did our numbers. We need this much per month, and if bills week are coming up and we don't have the money, I just lower prices, right? And if I have that money, I'll just sit on it. And so that's it. Just be able to adapt a certain situation. And like for example, like there's trips that we want to take, so we try to do a lot more sales in our store to get inventory out. And if we know that this shoe is really that rare, so I hold on to it longer. Because here's the thing that I noticed with shoes: if you're gonna develop this over time, but I believe this are inventories that will appreciate. Crazy enough, but this will be, I believe it in my heart that these are inventories that will appreciate, because I notice it with humans are just habitual habits, people of habit. And then they just want to have that exact same shoe. So 2 years from now, Nike won't make it, and the only way they can buy it is from eBay.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen over and over again. People messaging like, "Oh, I've been looking for this shoe. I just love the feel of this shoe," and they just pay it, and they just and that's what's gonna happen with this. I believe with the footwear.
Right.
Awesome. Awesome. We got to wrap up. Questions I just received.
Sure.
One is size. Do you find that, I sold a size 9, those javelins, those bright yellow ones I sold this morning, those were a size 9 versus some of my items that have my shoes that are size 50, like 3 or 4 watches on. So I'm finding that you can probably are the small, really large sizes popular online, and just walk into a store to find those?
Really, because with the shoe game, anything over size 12, they make lesser production, lesser numbers. So from just looking at shoe, they actually it's I believe it's 4-to-1 ratio. They make 4 pairs of the more popular size and 1 into the more larger size and the least popular. So with knowing a lot of people that have worn size 12 over, they actually have a harder time finding for shoes because they only make so many pairs. So for me, I stayed within the boundaries of 9 to 12, but now slowly, even Glenn with Hustler Hacks, you'll see it in his YouTube video, he sold size 17.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he picked them out at Ross, and he's been known to sell those. As long as you do diligent research, you're that it's something not common shoe, and on a really uncommon size, somebody's gonna pay for it. I mean, I sold, my biggest sale was buying a $50 shoe that was size 13, and I sold it for $350 because for that shoe that it was just that rare and the size was rare.
And somebody said they sold a size 18.
Nice.
2 of them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I would just put a slight little remark. Getting the large sizes like that, like just be prepared to sit on those a while. I don't see them being super fast sale because it takes that one that's looking for that type of shoe. Second question is repricing. So let's say you have shoes that are coming up on, you know, I know for you consider stale inventory after 3 months.
Right.
In our conversations. So let's say somebody with a fast nickel approach, they want to make maybe a $10 or $15 profit versus 25 or 30, and they're coming up on their 30-day mark and they go to reprice. Are you dropping by a certain percentage, a certain dollar amount?
Yeah, I usually do like $5. You know, like I have some shoe that I consider as, you know, these are my quick flip shoes. It just so happened that I bought, you know, 10 pairs of this, and it's just easier to list. So I have those kind of shoes as well. So I actually just lower them $5 every month, and then since I do a sale on weekends and stuff like that, and that's the beauty of best offer. So I have best offer, people giving me best offer, and be like, okay, I'll take this.
Nice.
You know, and then once they send you an offer, you will see where they're located at. So for me, I'm in Ohio. If it's somebody in New York, I'm more than willing to give them a $10 discount because that's, you know, over $5 cheaper for me to ship than somebody in California. So that's the beauty of best offer. You can judge the shipping costs based on where they're at. So yeah, definitely. I even sold, you know, over 30 days, I even tried to just break even.
Okay.
Even that extreme.
Yeah. Sometimes you just make bad buys. We all do it.
Yeah.
You just want to get your money back so you can reinvest. Somebody wanted to know what scan or app you use to scan. You're just using your eBay app and
Google. Those are my business partner.
Yeah.
I love it. Sweet. Well, Ken, your time, my friend. If you guys have any other questions and you're catching the recording of this, thanks for tuning in. If you have any other questions at all, drop comments below on the video. Both ourselves, Trista and myself, and Ken can come on here and help answer those for you. As you can see, we're complete open books. It was just fun for me to be able to pick his brain even more, even though I've been doing it for a month.
Yeah.
I love the reselling community because of people like just this whole journey fun. And aside from that, his information, his Instagram, which is stories mode, is always fun to watch every day, especially when he's rolling out of bed. It's a good one. So we'll link him up with all of his information below. Check him out, give him some love, go follow him. And aside from that, if you guys have any other questions, let us know. We'll get you taken care of. And Chaz and Ken.
HustleBee, thank you guys.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.